Hey, it's Chris here today from Huckle & Equipment. In today's video, we brought the biggest, the baddest, the best SVL 110 from Kubota. So you'll see beside me on this side, you'll see the old small one, the 97. And we're going to show you the key differences between the two. There's 4 main points to hit on, what the 110 brings to the market. And then we're actually going to do an overview video from front to back, showing out all the key selling points of this SVL 110. So stick with us. So whenever we start talking about skid steers in the Kubota lineup, so they originally came out with the 75 and a 90. So the 90 was always the biggest, the baddest in their lineup. So it went from 90 to 95 to 97. And with the natural progression of it all, you know, everybody's always looking for more hydraulic flow, a bigger machine and everything. They've come out with the 110. So if you look back through our channel, we have overview videos on the 95 as well as the 97 showing you all the key features. Kubota has taken this power plant and then supersized it and made it bigger and badder with the SVL 110. So as we start talking about the SVL 110, why did Kubota come out with the 110 horsepower skid steer? Well, that's where the market has shifted to. The 97 still has its market and for good reason worldwide. Whenever you start talking about the North American market, a lot of other manufacturers have already come out with that 100 horsepower plus skid steer to deliver hydraulic flow is the big one. So if you're looking for lift, yes, it's going to lift a little bit more, but not substantially. You're probably going to go with either 97 or 110 depending on preference. But whenever you start talking about hydraulic flow and commercial use, so in Eastern Ontario, where we're going to position this unit and where Kubota has positioned itself is for that commercial performance, and specifically for the mulch head. So you're looking for that 40, 60 hours a week where it's going to be used day in, day out. It's whether it's doing fence lines or hydro lines, something like that, where it's going to be requiring 100% hydraulic flow. That's what this one delivers over the 97, is you get that hydraulic plus on it, as well as a few other differences. So the 4 key differences on the SVL 110, starting with number 1, is the hydraulic flow. So not only are you getting 10% more on this unit, you're also having a different setting. So you have standard flow, high flow, and then high flow plus, which just drives all that hydraulics to the front to deliver your top performance with the machine. After that, what you'll see over the 97 is where some of the routing goes for some of the lines. That's kind of a natural progression. If they were doing a redesign on the 97, they probably would shift things around as well, but it does set it aside as to how the routing of the hydraulic lines go and how the extra protection are. Also, whenever you're ordering these units and bringing them in Canada, we have 2 options. We can bring it in with just the standard glass door and glass sides, whereas because of where we're positioning this as being a commercial unit looking to power a mulch head, they do give you the option of you ordering it with a poly door. Again, we'll show you some close-ups of it, but visually, there is no difference. If they're standing side by side with closed doors, you're not really going to notice it, but it is there whenever you're looking for it. Because again, whenever you're using these mulch heads, things are flying everywhere. And if with that roll-up door and stuff, it's going to be down, and you're going to want to make sure that things are bouncing off it, not shattering the glass on you. So, and also whenever you move around to the 3-point hitch, sorry, I'm used to talking about tractors. Whenever you move around to the rear end of these units, the serviceability has increased a lot. So on the 97, there is a bolt keeping the fan and everything in there, or the rad, I should say. Now it's just a lift lever that you're able to pull out and give you complete access to the engine and easier serviceability of the unit. So the 4 key differences over the 97 that you're getting with this unit is you get the hydraulics plus, so lots of extra hydraulic flow. You get the poly door as an option or orderability. That way, the routing of some of the hydraulic pipes to give you some extra protection, as well as on the rear of the unit, extra serviceability with that rad, not needing to unbolt it. Whenever we talk about the skid steer complete lineup of Kubotas, so not only do they have tracked units, they do have wheeled. In the wheeled units, you have 65 or 75 horsepower. And then whenever you move over to the tracked units, you start at 65, go 75, 97, and now the 110. So quite a full range. Again, whenever you compare them up against your Bobcats of the world, your Cats, there's still some smaller units that will be brought in hopefully in the near future, but we have got that whole range upwards now. So that delivers to pretty much every customer out there, and we're looking forward to seeing what they bring in the future. But now let's just focus on the 110 here. So whenever you start out front here talking about the SVL 110 and what you can get bucket wise, they are going to be the exact same as what you would have seen on the 97. So that means you can get the standard cutting edge on the front, or a tooth bar, and then after that you can get high volume buckets, low volume, long floor, short floor, depending on what you want to see. That gives you lots of options there, depending on what you're looking to do. Because even within that, in Canada, not only do we have Bradco buckets that they've been using forever since these 75s came out, we also have the Land Pride buckets. So there is a ton of overlap and a ton of different price points depending on what you want to see. Best part of these units that you're looking to see is always the hydraulics. So as I mentioned off the top, you are getting 10% more hydraulic flow than what you're going to see on the 97. With that is not only do you have standard flow and high flow, like that's what these two things are here, in the programming there, as well as they have high flow plus. So again, that's reserved for whenever you have something that you're using on the front plugged in there that requires max flow for a long time periods. Because again, not only is it you're looking to use that hydraulic flow, you're also looking to cool it. So again, if you're using this mulch head and it's heating up, you definitely need a machine behind it that's going to deliver, and that's what this 110 will do. So let's jump into it now and talk about that operator station and the computer on it. So as we moved into the operator station, the first one I'm going to focus on here is the door. So not only is it a roll down door, it's been made famous by Kubota, but we'll bring it down. And could you tell that was a poly door? It's heavy, you know, it's not glass, but again, you just have to, whenever you're up close, you'll have to just see that it is a poly door. It looks the exact same as the glass, but quite a bit heavier and much more needed whenever you're using those hydraulics on the front. After that, whenever we skip into here, start talking about everything that's going on. Again, the layout is the same as what you're going to see on the 97 and the 75. So quite a few upgrades, but at the end of the day, if you're familiar with the skid steer lineup now, it's going to be second nature to you. So the big one is, of course, is the computer system on here that they've updated. It tells you a ton of information. So whenever you go to start these machines now, no key, right? So you're relying on this system here. So again, you're always going to be asking you for the passcode. It's always very fancy here. And then it's going to tell you a ton of information here. So it is touchscreen. So as you can see, it says low fuel there. I can remove that message. And then after that, it's telling you a lot, whether the machine's hot or cold, how much fuel it has, how far along it needs to be before it goes through its first burn. And again, you can either use a jog dial to get into it or just use the touchscreen to tell you more information. Again, fairly easy system to use whenever you get into it. Again, like I said, I brought up the main menu here. It's going to go into your duty logs, maybe your potential warnings, settings. Again, the one thing that seems nice at the beginning is that the radio is all integrated into it. It is a little bit clunky if you're going to be changing radio stations quite a bit or looking to turn the volume up and down, as you got to go into the screen again. But anyway, that is the nature of it. Whenever it is all integrated, it is all one. So you do have to move in between all these things and screens. But at the end of the day, it's pretty easy to bring up whether you want radio, return, and then, you know, go into your menus kind of idea settings. There's your rear camera, which is nice. It is always nice to see what is behind you, especially when you have these bigger machines. Again, it could have been a little bit a few more extra dollars spent on that rear camera to get it a little bit sharper, but at the end of the day, it is just there to help, right? So that's kind of the overview of what all that can bring to you and tell you at that. Again, whenever you move down to the handles and everything, there is quite a bit going on with them. Again, whenever you're in the machine with your product specialist, they can explain everything to you because there is about 8 buttons per, so that's 16. So there's about 16 or 18 different functions and buttons that could change what all is happening on the front of your unit. So two things that they did do nice whenever they brought out the 75 and the 97 is they really increased your air conditioning. So not only does it blow out more, the location of it blows a lot more on your neck and everything, so it really cools you down. And then the location of the actual dials and stuff isn't underneath the handles anymore. It's actually off to the side, so it's a lot easier to access and change. On the right hand side, before some of the functions were in underneath the handles, they bumped it out a little bit, made it easier to access and tell you what's going on kind of idea. So beautifully laid out operator station. So let's jump around to the back and talk about the rear end of this machine. Okay, so we moved around to the 97 here just to bring you and really demonstrate the two key points in the rear end here. So number one, as we talked about, was the hydraulic lines. You'll see that they come up and over the bar where they're actually more down underneath on the 110, as well as whenever we get into serviceability of this engine compartment here. So again, not a big deal, but to get access to that engine, again, you can flip up here. You're still kind of limited by this rad here. So there is a bolt that has to be removed. Not a big deal whenever you're looking to service something. One bolt and you're all the way in. So now let's show you on the 110 what it's like. Okay, so we'll open up the rear door on this to show you better access here. Again, as I'm doing this, make sure you focus on the hydraulic lines there. You'll see that they are tucked in and under the bar instead of up and over compared to the 97. Very minor, but it is there. So after that, we've got the door locked open here. It is just one bar handle. Slide this open. And now I have complete access right into the engine bay here for serviceability, for whatever you're looking to do on it, for your daily checks or more aggressive changes or whatever needs to be done on the back. As Kyle pointed out, he really wished that whenever he was a mechanic that things opened up that easy for him to do it. So if you are a mechanic, you're going to love this unit. Whenever you're talking about who's going to buy this machine, it's going to be somebody that is going to utilize it to its full amount. Especially when it comes to hydraulics. So if you say you come into our to Huckabone's equipment and say, I'm looking for a skid steer, you know, we're going to ask you a few key questions. You're going to narrow it down to a 97 or a 110. At that point, if you are just looking for lift capacities and using the bucket and the pallet forks and that's about it, definitely save some extra money, buy the 97. You're going to love it. You're going to enjoy it. If you come in and say, oh, I'm going to be using the bucket and the pallet forks, but I also have these attachments that require a lot of hydraulic flow, you know, like that mulch head, some augers and stuff that's going to be really utilizing the hydraulics and going to be used in the bush or things where things get caught, you're definitely going to be wanting the 110. Again, because it's going to have that extra hydraulic flow, because it's going to have extra protection with the hydraulic lines and stuff. And then at the end of the week, your mechanic who's looking at this is going to go, thank God, the serviceability is so much easier on this. So that's what you're going to look to run into whenever you're with these units. And some of these things, like where the hydraulic lines are going, about the serviceability on the back, you're going to be seeing on the SVL 75, the 97, the 65 even, whenever they go from a -2 to a -3 or -3 to a -4, you're going to see that come in because it's just a natural progression of things. Whenever you're making changes, you always want to improve. And that's what the 110 did over the 97 and did over the 75 and the 90s and stuff. So again, you're going to see this stuff in the future. So that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, please leave them down below. Thank you.